Hi guys, I'm Callie,
And I'm Cole,
and welcome to Doodie Calls.
episode 3. Hi, Callie.
Hi Cole. What are we talking about today?
Woodstock, the original Woodstock from 1969, and the bathroom situation,
Okay.
or lack thereof. So, 1969 Woodstock, they had 500,000 people. I mean, it was a really notable event in history, really, for at least for us. Yeah, notable event in history. I think depending on the source, I read a couple different ones. They were expecting 10,000 to 200,000 people,
Yeah.
and then 500,000 showed up. So they only ordered restrooms for that estimated. They ordered 600 restrooms in total, and so they had 600 restrooms for 500,000 people for the 3 days.
Okay.
I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
One of those two. And I know it rolled into a fourth day because they had several delays. But most of the people left by that time. I think they were ready to go home. But
I can imagine, yeah.
yes, and they ran out a lot of things, not just bathrooms. They ran out of food, water. They ended up having to let a whole bunch of people in for free. I think they
Wow.
tore the gates down, or they didn't get fences set up right, or initially, because I know they had to move it to. It ended up being in a field in New York there. Yeah, just I think it was a farmer's field, or nearby a farmer's field. So, but it was just a big
Okay.
pasture. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. But they had one unit, so 600 units in total. That's one unit per 833 people. Can we talk about that for a second? Yeah.
I do want to know if you see us looking down. We do have notes today. We just wanted to make sure that we have
There were some figures there,
everything.
then some numbers I didn't want to
But
forget. So
like you said, 1 unit per 833 people.
yeah,
Gross.
that's a long line. Yeah, I mean, yeah, really though, if everybody went to the bathroom at the same time, you'd have to wait behind 833 people per bathroom if you were the first one or the last one in line.
That would be miserable.
Yes. So now, obviously, not everybody goes to the bathroom at the exact same time, but
Sure, but still, there's
yes.
going to be quite a few people
Well,
waiting.
and one unit can only accommodate up to 200 uses before it needs serviced. So and they did have somebody there servicing them in the documentary that was filmed after the fact. There's a clip on YouTube that I watched that's a couple minutes long. A service technician was there cleaning the units.
Was it just that one tech, or
That was all that
it?
was in the video. I don't
Okay.
know how many people they had there, how many trucks or anything like
Okay.
that. Also, depending on the source, I think there were 2 people that died at Woodstock. One was an
Oh.
overdose, and then one was run over by they. Some sources say a tractor. Other sources say that it was a porta potty truck that ran the person over, and that they were sleeping in a bunch of garbage. And
Neat.
the person driving didn't see them or whatever.
Wow.
But yeah, so I did read that. I'm not 100% sure again on the accuracy of all of this because multiple sources had varying information,
Yeah.
and I haven't watched the documentary either. So
You didn't?
not the whole documentary. No,
Oh.
no, I watched that clip on YouTube
Oh,
from the
just
documentary, but it
that.
was just like a
Okay.
3-minute clip.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they have a full length documentary they filmed the next year to talk about it because it was such a notable historical event. But yeah, so one unit per 833 people. That is nowhere near enough. You want to stick with 1 per 50 to 1 per 100. It'll kind of depend on service frequency of the units. Depends on, I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into sizing an event, especially one of that size when you have multiple variables. So the variables that as operators you want to know, how long is the event? What's the duration? Both on a day-to-day basis and then also on a just an overall length basis, and then obviously the number of people that are going to be there. Those are going to be your first 2 things that we'd want to look at to to help start. That's where we start to try and figure out how many units you need. But then
Right.
there's a lot of other things that go into it.
Like weather.
Weather, yeah, if it's
Yeah.
really hot, really cold, people tend to use the restrooms less.
Mm-hmm.
If it's moderate weather, then they're going to use the restrooms a little bit more so. Yeah, food or beverages,
Mm-hmm.
alcohol especially. If there's alcohol there, you need one unit additional. I think they say like a 25 or 30% increase on the units if there's alcohol
Oh
served
wow.
or
Okay.
available.
Mm-hmm.
If there's the other would be if there's permanent restroom facilities that are already there or other restroom facilities that are there that attendees can use.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those all play a factor into it. Also, your so overall duration. If the event has a set time frame during the day that people will be there, we'll say
Mm-hmm.
it's 8 hours a day or 10 hours a day. That's going to be different than if there's people camping, staying overnight.
Right.
So if there's people staying overnight, if are they in campers, are they in tents?
Mm-hmm.
Again, what kind of facilities are available? If you're going to have people staying overnight, you're going to have to account for that and increase the number of units. Now, not everybody's going to be using the restroom all throughout the night as well. I mean, people have to sleep sometime, but they'll
Yeah.
have to use them when they wake up in the morning and when
Right.
so if they're
Mm-hmm.
on site, then you're going to have to account for that also.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, basic figures we'll go huge for events, 100,000 people.
Okay.
Basic figures for 8 hours, depending on the calculator, was 700 to 1,000 units, which is kind of that 1 per 700, 1 per
Mm-hmm.
1,000
And that's
ratio.
not accounting for services.
That is not
Okay.
accounting for services. So that's assuming that you're going to have 100,000 people in one location
Mm-hmm.
for 8 hours, start to finish,
Okay.
with no services on the units in between during that 8 hours, and that the people that are there are going to be there for that full 8 hours.
Okay.
So it's not enough to just for a 24-hour event to just triple that number. You don't have to just triple it because of all the other factors. You're most likely going to have services on the units during the event as well,
Mm-hmm.
at least once a day, if not multiple times a day.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like for the River Festival here in town, the Smoky Hill River Festival, they have about 60,000 people walk through the gates over the entire Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday, what?
Oh, sorry. I was saying, and we have about 60 restrooms
Yeah.
on site. Plus, there are three. I think it's three, right? Permanent restrooms
Yeah, there's three
at the park.
restroom facilities that are permanent
Mm-hmm.
at the park, and then we bring in about 60 total units.
Mm-hmm.
And they get 60,000 people come through the gates over the 4 days.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I think, well, they said at any given time they estimate about 12,000 people are in the park.
Okay.
And that kind of touches on another topic when you're sizing peak flow times. You
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to accommodate for that too. I know sporting events, intermissions, half times, quarters, timeouts, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
More people are going to be more likely to go to the bathroom at those times or concessions or leave their seats for one reason or another.
And with Riverfest, there's a lot of people coming in for lunch. And people
Yeah,
coming in for
especially on
dinner.
Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's going to be really hot out that day, then people come in the early morning hours or
Yes.
in the later evening hours more so than
Yeah.
they do spend, all day there. I mean, there
Yeah.
are a lot of people that spend all day there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there's people come and go, and most events are going to be that way. Not
Yeah.
everything, but a lot of events are going to have the ability for people to come and go
Mm-hmm.
or use other restrooms. Some people need to go, well, get food if there isn't food available, or
Whatever it may
whatever
be.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that 1 per 50 to 1 per 100, that's a really good starting place. And then just trying to take into all the other considerations. Another thing would be, servicing ability or availability by the service providers, and
Okay.
also the times that they have to service them. If
Okay.
there are, if they can, we have to be able to get to the units to service the units. So
Yeah.
the location of the units plays an important role in that,
Mm-hmm.
making sure that they're accessible both for the people needing to use them, but also for the service trucks to get in and out. And then the times that we as operators could service them.
Mm-hmm.
If there are certain times that we can't service them, then that has to be accounted for as well.
With the car show, at least, I know that one specifically for us, there are certain times that we were able to actually go in
Yeah.
and service the units.
Yeah.
At least it was like that in the past.
So yeah, with the car show, and a lot of car shows can be this way. If you're taking up a large area with a lot of cars, it can be difficult to navigate a service truck through
the cars,
through the people, things like that. And so that would play a factor into it as well. If you can't service them multiple times a day and have to limit it to, early in the morning before people get there or late in the evening after people have left, that plays a factor into it as well. Each unit can accommodate up to 200 uses before needing service. And so that figure, assuming that everyone's going to use the restroom at least once every 4 hours, that's kind of the math behind it. And all those other factors would just kind of play into it as well.
This video, at least, is a great segue into our next one, and if not our next one, a soon upcoming video.
Yeah.
In terms of like cost savings and the actual cost of a portable restroom.
Yeah. That's something that I really wanted to talk about for a while, because there's a lot of information, or there's not a lot of information about it, I should say, but there's a lot of cost savings or even revenue generating factors that play into having facilities available for people to use, whether you're on a construction site or you're at a large fair, festival, an event of some kind. Those having restrooms available, yes, it's convenient. Yes, it costs money. As an event organizer, it costs money, but there's a return on the investment that you're making by having both adequate number of facilities and just having facilities in general. But having them in, good condition, clean, usable condition also would play into it. So, yeah, can't wait to talk about that one. I'm going to try and get a little bit more information on the data and on the numbers on that one. I know the PSAI, I think they have some of those figures.
I think so.
I've read them before. I just don't know where I read them, so I'll have to find them.
But, and I know we've talked about it before, but I think they're the ones that have it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah.
But
Anyway, so if you are planning a very large event, don't do what Woodstock did.
It's definitely better.
Not necessarily their fault, just because of the 3-4 times as many people showed up as what they were planning on. Sure. But you also have to be able to account for more people there than...
It's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared.
That's right. So
this is a great segue, like we mentioned, to our next video, or at least an upcoming one.
Yep.
I know with Christmas and things coming up, our schedule might be a little different. Maybe we'll post a little earlier. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But at least for this, we'll be here Friday.
Yeah.
We'll be here next Friday.
Yep.
But otherwise, if you have questions, make sure to comment below. Like this video if you like it.
Comment, share, like, please. If you dislike it, that's fine too. Let us know.
Nicely.
Nicely. But like, share, comment. Let us know. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to us in any way. So hopefully we can answer them.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Yes.
And we will see you next Friday.
Thank you.